thank you so much for giving us actually some hope. And I know Asgeir, so Asgeir Tomasgard is back, still being the director of NTNU Energy Transition Initiative and NTNU Energy, and also a professor at NTNU. And I know that you wanted to finish off on a positive and motivational note. And listening to these 6 excellent speakers, I feel a little bit lifted. So I was just wondering, what would you say now to sum things up in a way, that the most critical actions that we need to start with yesterday could be?
I think the positive aspect of this is that...
Oh.
Is it on?
It's on, yeah.
Perfect. So the positive aspect is that we know more or less what to do. We have the technologies, we have the solutions, and I think if you look at it, we will need electrification, that's for sure. The problem is, how can we build clean electricity in sufficient amounts and still respecting nature, biodiversity, culture, and humans? The other aspects is, and that's a more tricky one, is we need to also decarbonize transport and industry. Also, we know the technologies, but we have less mature business models in some respect. We need to know the future of the European industry to be able to decarbonize it. And that's for sure a lot of political uncertainty these days, and it's not improving day by day. So in some respect, we need someone to line out a long-term strategy where we have a good idea about what industry will we have, what kind of jobs will we create, and make sure that there is no political uncertainty in terms of how we will deal with the climate emissions in Europe. So this is not a small challenge, I realize.
No, not at all.
But I mean, that's what we need to do in order to be able to finance some of these difficult to abate sectors and their decarbonization.
And just a quick reflection from the panel on this, because basically you guys are saying we need more of everything faster, which is easy to say but not necessarily easy to do, as you just pointed out. So we have 45 seconds left, dear panel. How would you take the challenge that Asgeir is giving us? How can we, on the one hand, make sure that we know where we're going and, you know, realize, as Rolly was saying as well, that this is political. It is deeply political, even though you guys are not doing politics. Alexandra, would you like to start? You have a few seconds.
And the question is?
And the question is, following up on Asgeir, where do you see the need for speed? And if you have to choose, you know, the one path that will really get us going? Is it technology? Is it politics? Is it
everything has to do with politics.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to do with politics in every you know, requirements for emission cuts, financing. We see in Norway a lot has to do with taxes, taxes for in all kinds of ways. So just getting the idea that it's possible to do it, and it's possible to do a lot of it relatively fast, and the cost of not doing anything will be horrendous. And it's not easy to be a politician, but sometimes I think they get messed up. So I think for us to be more vocal and present and fact-based communication.
Thank you. I'm giving the word to Laurent Leveugle. Your final note seen from Finland with your French perspective, and saying that nuclear will have a role to play. Indeed. But it's going to take time.
Yes, of course. But you know, it's always the same thing that people say that nuclear takes time. But if in 2035 we are still in a situation where it's not decarbonized, people would have wanted us to start in 2025. So that's actually linked to two of my points. The first one is that we need to see the electricity as a system. It's a system. And if we look at it from the system perspective, the conclusion is that we need everything, even though the timelines are different. So we don't want to oppose any of the CO2-free form of electricity. And then, in order to speed up, it requires a commitment from the states, so it's political, also from the industry.
Yeah.
So we really need to form these partnerships in order to do it all together, and then it will be faster.
Thank you. You just have 15 seconds each now. Toyos.
Yeah, I think for 15 seconds, I would say we should keep in mind the encouraging developments as well within the cost reductions and many parts of the electrification being cost competitive to others. So affordability was a much bigger challenge 15 years ago than it is now. And then there are these hard-to-abate emissions that Asgeir is also mentioning. They are really challenging and maybe more so than ever.
Yep.
But we should, at the same time, keep an eye on what is going well and also utilizing those forces.
Thank you. And hard-to-abate emissions, that's your field, Martin.
Yes, so I can focus on the CCS. I think 10 years ago when we started to develop our project, there were no other projects with CCS on waste to energy. Today, it's more than 60 projects in Europe. So we have the projects, we have the technology, but we need to get the cost down. And to get the cost down, we need more projects, and then we need financing. And as I think currently, we have shown in Norway that it's possible with Longship. And we have the reverse auctions now in Sweden, but we need the next policies to come to make sure that you have been able to finance the project also going forward and to develop the carbon removal market. If you're able to do that, we can make CCS happen.
And people have to get along with the transition as well, really. And
Can I add one thing? I think let this energy transition not be at the cost of democracy and trust. That's something that I would like to say. That let's find a model of doing it so that people are along with us and we can build trust in society, because that's the next crisis. Losing trust in politicians, losing trust in the market, that's an upcoming and sneaking up on us crisis.
That's true. Volker, final words.
Yeah, many puzzle pieces are coming together, but need to be scaled up. We have to recognize Europe is responsible for, I think, 6% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So basically co-developing these solutions with the Global South and making sure they can be deployed there, I think is absolutely crucial to make an impact.
Thank you so much, dear panel, for finalizing the conference program for us. So a huge applause to all 6 of them. And you may leave the stage. And Asgeir, before I give you the final word, I just wanted to say some practical details, your name tags for the people in the room. If you're not joining the dinner, you can leave them at the exit, in sense of sustainability, recycling, and so on. So, Asgeir, final word. You wanted highlights all through the program. I think you got them. Climate solidarity is something that I'm taking with me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, the big takeaway is that I think we have all the solutions. Now it's about implementation. How do we do it? How can we manage to get all these pieces in the puzzle together, as Volker mentioned? And it's urgent.
And next year is a digital conference.
Probably not. It's nice to talk to people in the breaks,
That is true. Yeah.
And
make sure they can take the train.
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah. So, thank you so much for today and for this year, and thank you to a lovely audience who stuck with us all day.
I'd like to say thank you to the audience, but also to all the speakers and the expert panel and my co-organizers. But first and foremost, also to the audience for staying together with us the full day and making it so interesting to talk also between the presentations.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.